Hello and welcome to Module 2, Lesson 2, where we go ahead and break down your deficit. This is the best way to find what kind of energy expenditure you'll need in order to accomplish your goal within a set period of time. Okay, what we will need in order to do this is a weight goal and time frame, your quantitative goals that we outlined in Module 1, and then we will need your current scale weight as well as your maintenance that we found in Lesson 1 of this module. So there is a ideal weight loss that is recommended. There is such a thing as too much weight loss in a set period of time, and that can cause binging and other things, extreme hunger, lack of sleep, things that just don't help with sustainability. Really, we want to keep our goals once we attain them, and therefore I recommend a bit of a lower and slower approach. So in order to find that, first we're going to take your current body weight and we're going to plug it into this first spot here. We're going to have our 200 pounds as an example. We're going to multiply it times 1%, which is 0.01. Okay, for the 200 pounds, 1% is 2. So the recommended max loss per week that you'll want to see is 2 pounds per week. Now, if you didn't already know, in red here I have highlighted 3,500 calories is equal to about a pound of fat. So that's very important in this calculation to remember that if you want to lose a pound in a week, you need to eat 3,500 fewer calories each week in order to attain that. For our 2 pound a week max goal, that would be equivalent to 7,000 calories, as I have outlined up here on my wonderful hand-drawn page. Okay, next thing, we'll use that to verify later whether or not your goal is a little too ambitious or realistic for what you want to accomplish. With our quantitative goal, we've got our number of pounds in a set period of time. So for this example, I have 20 pounds written here in 6 months' time. What you're going to do next is take your goal in pounds and you're going to multiply it times that 3,500 again. That is going to give us our total calorie loss that we want over our span of time. For the 20 pounds, that's going to be equivalent to 70,000 total calories that we're going to want to eat less throughout that 6 months. Okay. Now we're going to break that down throughout our time period. So our 70,000 calories, if we're wanting to do that over the course of 6 months, if you have weeks, we'll get to the weeks. You can skip the months if you chose weeks. We can then go ahead and break down the 70,000 by the 6 months. So we'll divide the 70,000 by 6. So I have 11,666. I'm going to do 11,700. So we have a nice round number. Okay. Then we're going to break it down even further. We're going to go into weeks. Okay. So there's about 4 weeks in each month on average. So we're then going to take that number and divide it by 4. I got about 2,900, so I'm going to round it to 3,000 here, so it stays nice and round. And that means what's left is how many per day we're going to want. And since there is 7 days in a week, we're then going to divide it by 7. So here I have about 420 per day. That's rounded up from 416. So now we have our daily deficit that we want. Okay. If our maintenance is, say, 2,000 calories, we're then going to want to subtract that daily goal from that 2,000 and get what we want to ideally be eating each day, which in this instance, it's 1,580 calories per day. Doesn't need to be quite that exact. We could round up here, but that is essentially the way to break down your calories that you want to lose on a weekly, monthly goal or time frame. If you are using kilograms know that there's 2.2 kilograms per pound. So I recommend converting things to pounds in order to do this, because that's what I have. At 3,500 calories is also equal to 2.2 kilograms. So you'd switch out those numbers as you go along. But in this example, we have the 1,580 calories. Now I know this can feel like a lot of numbers and a lot of picking things apart. So I have put together a spreadsheet that'll essentially do this for you. And I can have an alternative way as well that'll calculate out your recommended loss based on your body weight now, so that you can kind of determine how much you want to. If you don't have a goal weight, a specific goal weight in mind, and you just want to start losing, you can absolutely take that 7,000 per week, and it'll equal, for this 200-pound example, it would be about 1,000 per day, which is a lot, right? That is a lot. For 2,000 maintenance, I wouldn't recommend that. Good gravy. Why did I do that?